Hi guys, Stephanie Graham's here. So I was going to talk about time blocking. Some of us in this type of business are trying to go full time, but meanwhile we have to juggle house responsibilities, families, maybe even a part-time job or full-time job outside the home. So I just thought I'd give you some time blocking tips. Um, this helps me in my business, no matter what business I'm working in, well, I have one business, but different aspects of the business, I should say. So, time blocking allows you to be more productive without all the interruptions. And again, that just depends on your family structure and what's going on in your house. But hopefully, these tips will help you. Let me see if I can find my notes here, and give me just a second. And I need to put on my blue light glasses because the screen, pardon the bad live here, because the blue light on my screens actually they strain my eyes, and I end up getting a headache. And here they are. All right, so if you see me with these glasses, it's blue light glasses, and if your eyes hurt after using computers or your iPad or cell phones, look into getting a pair of your own blue light glasses. I think these were like, it was a 2-pack for like $5 at TJ Maxx, I think it was. But anyways, not sponsored. Bought it myself. All right, so time blocking allows you to have a productive day, even with interruptions, because you allocate your time to the greatest opportunity by spending time on the most difficult things first. So at the end of the day, it's a better payoff for you. Only you know your situation and what's going to work for you and your family or not. Um, Make sure that whenever you sit down to plan, give yourself a good 2 hours at least away from all the family stuff, away from interruptions, whether it's cell phone messages, calls, emails popping up on your laptop. If you even have to like physically leave your house or lock yourself in your bedroom, just let your family know. And obviously, if you have special needs, children, or children in general, you may have to wait till they take a nap or go to bed for the night. But try to get some alone time to work on your time blocking. And this works for your personal life too. It's just not for sewing businesses, but that's mainly who I'm speaking to on this Sewpreneur channel. So this these are some rules that I follow when I do my time blocking, and I don't know if I've ever gone in depth with you on this idea, but just take it, use it however you want to. And just a disclaimer, I never make promises of any type of success. Success comes from the direct action that you plan and you do on your own. Nobody else can be responsible for the success that you have in any form, business, personal, health, emotionally, spiritually, any of those. Those success comes from what you put into it, okay? But always have the mindset of learning. So let's move on. A strategic block is important with time blocking. It is basically a 3-hour block of uninterrupted time, scheduled in advance, and 100% focused on pre-planned activities. So the rules for that strategic block would be no phone calls, no visits, no emails, no interruptions. Just you, your planner, and some, I have pretty markers. So that's a strategic block. The next one is called a buffer block. That is a 30-minute time block with unplanned activities, and they bring low value to you. So what you do is you move through the list fast, and I'll explain these in just a second. I just kind of want to give you an overview. Group together as best as possible and allow for 2 of these buffer blocks per day. So a buffer block is 30 minutes. Basically, it's a free-for-all. For 30 minutes, set your timer. I always set my cell phone timer. And if I'm in the buffer block, I set it for 30 minutes and I just literally brain dump everything that's bothering me, everything I need to do. So this right here was one of my buffer blocks this morning on a piece of scrap paper. Everything that needs to be done in the next 24 hours, I just literally dumped on here. It's not in order. I didn't assign a time to get it done. I literally just got it out of my thought process so I could think clearly on what needs to be done in the next day, today and tomorrow. All right, and then there's a breakout block, and that is 3 hours. It's similar to the strategic block, which is 3 hours, but they're vastly different. The breakout blocks is 3 hours, and that's the breakout block is 3 hours of nothing that can be related to work. You give yourself 3 hours, has nothing to do with your sewing business at all. This could be, you could use this time to start to relax, do something fun, go out for a walk, exercise, go out with your family, watch TV, catch up on your favorite shows, listen to music, go dancing, whatever. It's 3 hours, but you have to unplug from your work. That used to be the most difficult thing for me to do as a business owner, because I knew that if I was not behind the sewing machine sewing, I was not making money. And that all changed when I took some training classes years ago and learned how to expand my sewing business to where I could still make money without just being behind the sewing machine. And that's one of the things that I teach in my Sewpreneur classes. Now, you're asking, what are you talking about with these classes? If you go to sewpreneur.com and subscribe to the newsletter, you're going to know when these classes are live. Moving forward, these classes are going to be very limited time. Like I might give you 30 or 60 days notification on the class, and then only open it up to like 10 or 15 students and then close it. And I might not reopen it for 6 months to a year later, because I want my students to always be growing and learning, and I want to be able to interact with you one-on-one. And I have students in different time zones. I'm in Eastern, and not most of them aren't in the Eastern time zone. So I want to be able to help you with your sewing business. Now, I don't teach sewing lessons. There are other qualified individuals that can teach you that way better than I can. But Sewpreneur, the Sewpreneur movement that I have is sewing. It's for sewing entrepreneurs, which is Sewpreneur. I want to help you with the business side of sewing. I'm like a business nerd, techie nerd kind of person, and I want to share that and teach you all of that. And so definitely reach out to me, get on the newsletter. I only send it out. I was sending it out like once a week, and then I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. So now you get it like maybe twice a month. If you want it more often, I will definitely do that. But I need you guys to let me know what it is that's helpful for you. I've had some students call, or not students, I've had some individuals call the business line and hang up. And the only reason I know that they're calling about the Sewpreneur classes because of the line that they're using. So the phone number literally is not technically published to the general public. So if you have questions, don't be afraid to leave that message. I'll get to it. I will definitely listen, and I will definitely answer your questions. But if you'd rather just not talk on the phone or leave a message, then by all means, you feel free to email me. That's fine. I'll answer you there too. But so the strategic block, if you want to just take a quick note about this, it's 3 hours of uninterrupted time focused solely on business items. It has to be 3 hours of work where you're not interrupted and you're focused. So real quick, a quick example of this for me personally, doesn't have to be this way for you, might not work for you, but 3 hours, I set my timer. When my children were younger and I homeschooled them, I still ran a business. And yes, it was a sewing business. I actually used to design, cut out, and sell appliques. So, among other things that I used to do. And that was way before YouTube was popular. I have no video of it, so I wish I did. But what I would do is for 3 hours, I would make sure my children were fed. If they were in diapers, they were changed. And if they were, well, I had staggering, or a variety of ages of children, but the younger ones would be in their playpen next to me where I was working, obviously away from dangers of needles and scissors and threads and buttons and things like that. They were not that close, but they were in the same sewing studio area with me in their playpen, safe and happy. They were fed and changed. Obviously I would interact and speak with them, so it's not 100% uninterrupted, but it was little tiny things like that. And then as my children grew up, I would make sure again that I had my 3 hour strategic block where I was still focused 100% on the business, but still being able to take care of their needs. But by that time, you know, the older your children get, the more likely they are going to want to read a book or play with a puzzle. They don't really need you to sit there with them one-on-one. A lot of times, I'm saying probably the first 7 years of my children's lives. So as I had a new baby, it was like a perpetually non-stop cycle of 7 years, but basically it was 7 years of, I would stay up well past midnight to be able to get those 3 hours of uninterrupted time. And so I would go without sleep, well, I guess most of my life, because I've been a mom since I was 16. So unrelated to this. Just make it work for you. However, you have to get those 3 hours where you're still there to take care of your family, or if you're working to plan it just once a week if you have to. If you can pre-plan your business for a whole entire month and you do that in 3 hours, you're better off. And that takes time and it takes practice. And you know what, give yourself some grace. If you're interrupted during those 3 hours of strategic planning time, then it happens. You know, life happens. Nothing you can do. All right, so really think about this. Realize your potential. You have this desire to have a successful sewing business. That doesn't just happen overnight, right? I mean, maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But know that you have the skills. Now you just have to get organized to make it come to fruition. Your success is directly related to your education and the amount of time you put into it. I can teach you all these little hacks and tips and tricks and all of that have worked for me, but until you take it and personalize it to your own business and life, then it's not going to mean anything to you. So definitely realize your potential. Realize and understand how important your services are to somebody else. If you have to write that down on a piece of paper and hang it on your wall, then do it. That way you have a daily reminder. Daily reminders for me are essential. I have to have that. If you want to see one of my daily reminders, let me show you what it is. Right here. Excuse this right here. This is not our magnets. They came with the rental. 2 Peter 3:9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some count slackness, but is long suffering towards us, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. So that is something I have as a daily reminder for some things that are going on in our life and the life of our some friends and family that we have. So hang your daily reminder. That's on our refrigerator. I don't mind having my family read that. It's good for them to know too and be reminded. Let's see here. Be mindful of how you spend your time. That is so mind-boggling if you really think about it. Besides, like twice a week I spend 2 hours on laundry, but that has cut down tremendously because I have taught my 2 disabled daughters how to help with laundry. And that has taken it from being a total of 4 hours a week of laundry just on me down to maybe an hour, because I still have to oversee how it's being done, and to answer questions. So, TV, I save TV time now when my husband is home from work so we can have a little bit of time together. When he's not here, I rarely am in front of the TV. Mind you, it's always playing in the background when I'm not recording. That way, my daughters like me to watch YouTube with them too. So instead of my eyes being on it, at least I hear it and I can still interact. But again, you make your life work. You make your business work around your family life. All right? It's not fair to have your family life work around your business. You might fall into some regrets if you get those two mixed up. Live with clear intentions. It is so easy to become frustrated with business and want to just ditch everything and start something completely unrelated. I've done that before. I did that a few years ago. It was a huge mistake. But instead of me being stuck on, look at all that wasted time, thinking like that, I realized that was a learning experience, and now I'm trying to help you with my learning experience so you don't do the same thing. Be proactive versus reactive, and spend time on high value actions. Last but not least, don't waste time on tasks that you can outsource. The laundry I outsourced to my daughters. Now, the whole thing, no, obviously not. They're not capable of having that full responsibility. However, I was able to teach them how to sort towels and clothes. And I was able to teach them how to read a label on the soap container. I try to buy the soap pods instead of liquid or powder because their hands shake and it makes the liquid and powder spill. So I spend an extra dollar or whatever on pods to make it easier for them. But in the long run, that has helped free me up. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there is it adds up rather quickly. If you feel like you're the only one that can do the dishes, well, you know what? Obviously you need to know the maturity level of who you're speaking to. Teach them how to do something to help. Change the trash can, wipe down the bathroom sinks, teach them how to wash a toilet. All of this is something that you can do and outsource. If you don't have children or a spouse to help with that, then maybe you can hire a maid to come in once a week or once a month or whatever. And if you still can't do that and it's literally all on you, then put your house in an order, organize it, put yourself on a schedule, and just follow it. Dust once a week or a month or whatever you have to do to make your business and life as cohesive as possible. So those are my time blocking intentional success tips for you today. If you're interested in this copy, let me know. You need to let me know in the comments below. If I get this channel to 1,000 subscribers, I will start handing out freebies again. All right, guys, have a great day. Oh, well, I do have the free newsletter, so you can still get that, and that's at sopreneur.com. And what was I going to say? Please like, subscribe, share, because I cannot grow if you do not help me. All right, and I appreciate all of you. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.